David Cronenberg was one of the directors that got me into film. I didn't really know why I was so attracted to the body horror genre, from Scanners and Videodrome and obviously The Fly. I will admit that I have fallen off the Cronenberg horse recently and haven't really been able to see his recent films. Trust me, I will change that. Thankfully, after one day of delay, I was finally able to see this new body horror feature, Crimes of the Future, starring the one and only Kristen Stewart, Viggo Mortensen, and Lea Seydoux. You should probably go into this film completely blind, but I'll give you a vague synopsis. Viggo and Lea are performance artists. What do they perform? Well, Lea cuts up Viggo's spare organs that have been growing in a public setting. I will start with the pros because, shockingly, there are only a few for me. Look, it's a Cronenberg joint. The body horror looks awesome. I wish I had more amazing analysis here. It looks dope. I like the ideas of a bed that you sink into, which can match up with your pain and requires updates when your internal composition changes. Every surgery scene is pretty masterful in its execution. We get some awesome monologues during these scenes as well. I like the idea that in the future, humans don't feel pain and seek it for pleasure. Somehow with no pain, there's still suffering in the world, which is an interesting idea that should be explored. No pain means there can be more experimentation in the world. This movie's atmosphere is full of just so much dread and silence and desertion. One of the main ideas of this movie would be the fight between the adapters who are looking ahead when it comes to their bodies, and the originalists who seek to cut off any extra organ. The performances all around are kind of great. I'm still kind of iffy on Kristen Stewart's performance here, but in the end, it blends with the rest of the world, so I'm not complaining. Honestly, I think that's all the positives I got. I'm sorry. I am a little bit disappointed here, Daddy Cronenberg. No, I was not grossed out, even though one guy did walk out, which was pretty funny because we all just laughed at him. This having a 100-minute runtime to me is just completely unacceptable. There are so many ideas in this movie in such a short period of time. With this dense subject matter, we need more time to explore these ideas. I truly believe we could have a movie about every single one of these characters. Typically, when you believe this type of thought, it means it should have been a limited series. Kristen Stewart and her partner, who works at the organ registry, have plenty going on that needs to be explored. The partner starts an underground, illegal, internal organ competition, and we have just this quick scene where Kristen Stewart's character is like, guys, it's a problem. Then it's suddenly not a problem. Another problem with this movie, nothing is really that urgent, and when important plot points occur, it doesn't feel like anything meaningful happened. It's just such a flat and static experience. The two technicians that work on the beds, and the eating, and the autopsy chairs are pretty cool in concept, but I don't really understand their motives too much besides the very basic surface level information we have been provided. Like, you know, they're Team Viggo. The guy that is super into plastic and has a cult definitely warrants more exploration, like a lot more. Shoot, even the Vice cop could hold down a movie. That whole department deserves more exploration. It's fascinating how they had to develop an entire new department just to combat human evolution and know what's coming up. There's just a lot of introductions that are kind of neat ideas that aren't close to being fleshed out. And yet somehow there are scenes in this film that feel so replaceable. The whole plot of the organ guy orchestrating this internal beauty pageant is brushed over like it's nothing, which sucks because I kind of love the idea, and all we get is Viggo with a zipper to open up his guts so it's easier to judge. Then Lea goes down on his pussy. I do believe this film stuck the landing in a few ways. I'm going to go into some spoilers here, so be careful. The commanding plot in this film is this guy who leads a cult and performs surgery on himself to make it so he can eat plastic and other synthetics. I think this is a pretty dope concept because, you know, plastic's everywhere. Go feast in the ocean, I guess. Well, this son somehow was born with this mutation, and his mom is disgusted by this kid, so she kills the kid. This leads the dad wanting to have someone perform an autopsy in front of the world to show the mutation. Flash forward, they perform it, and Kristen Stewart's character off screen switches out the guts and makes it look like it was a normal kid, and kind of makes the dude look like a monster. This was ordered by the cop who has seen what's inside the kid and wants to hide it from the rest of the world. Lea Seydoux then turns around to the audience and makes a pretty strong propaganda statement about how this new stuff is killing our children, and it's very performative because, well, it's performative art. But also at the heart of this film are two political sides that I stated earlier. Another flash forward, Viggo eats this bar that's meant for synthetic cultists and pretty much kills any normie. He takes a bite and his face turns euphoric, and the digesting chair that usually moves to help the digestive system stops moving, and then the movie ends. So he's accepting the changes. To me, this shows he has kind of changed sides. Viggo was famous for growing these new organs, so to me this is signaling he was the bridge between old humanity and new technologically advanced humanity that accepts changes. Again, wish a lot more of this was explored. I truly think this should have just been a mini-series, but as I think about this movie more, I do come to appreciate some of the ambitious elements. But this will max around a 6 out of 10 for me. Always gotta support Cronenberg. If you're still here, go find another video. Go sub somewhere. Go do it. Find a way. Bye-bye.